starts to move in. Now that's what's bringing us these periods of snow showers. That northwesterly flow building in, that's going to help to enhance those snow showers as well. But gusty winds at the wake of this cold front. So today, a bit on the colder side, and that cold air not going anywhere through the start of our work week. So through today, temperatures staying steady in those low 20s, mostly cloudy with a few light snow showers around. Wind gusts 20 to 25 miles per hour all through tonight, leaving us feeling in the single digits tonight and tomorrow morning. So timing a lot for you in Futurecast. Those snow showers, we could have a few heavier bands north later on, and again right along the ridges tonight. So this is going to be an all-day thing.
Hello. It is a beautiful snowy day. Cold, but also beautiful and snowy. Me and Sophie are taking a little walk. I think most of my videos start out up here walking the dog. Today we're going to look at an old cemetery, and one particular marker there that has a lot to do with the construction of Interstate 279 here in Pittsburgh, where an old graveyard was discovered with a whole bunch of unmarked graves. So we're going to go check that out. It's funny, I never realized that it happened. It happened back in, well, they discovered it back in the late 80s, and I didn't hear much about it back then. But we also didn't have the internet back then, so, and I was in high school, so I probably wasn't paying much attention. But apparently over 700 bodies were discovered, and they actually sent off a lot of the bones to the Smithsonian for additional analysis, where they discovered, you know, the approximate age and gender of some of the remains. And I guess later on they discovered some old records that indicated how some of the people died and who they were. But as far as the bodies being actually identified, that was never able to be achieved. So there's just one marker for all of those people in an old cemetery up on Troy Hill. And it's a really nice area overlooking the Allegheny River Valley. Additionally, before we go, Sophie and I are going to walk down to the edge of the interstate to show at least one abandoned street. There was a lot of homes lost, and some 8,000 people lost their homes when the interstate went through. And there's not much left over of those homes, but I'm going to show really briefly, because there's not a lot to look at. One little street that was kind of left behind and abandoned right by the interstate. So I hope you enjoy this video. If you do, please subscribe and ring the notification bell. I definitely appreciate any feedback that you have. I wanted to thank the Black Crow for the support, as well as Glass from the Past. I appreciate both of you guys and your kind words and support. So with that being said, we're going to get to it. Thanks again. I don't think a lot of people in the area would know what to do or would appreciate the not having this part of the interstate. It's a very short part, but it really connects the northwestern suburbs with the city of Pittsburgh and Interstate 79 on up to 76 east and west. And of course the western part of the turnpike, Interstate 76, connects with Interstate 80, which goes all the way across the country. So it's a very well-traveled area. You can probably see through the trees there. That is the interstate. It's the topic of this video. I apologize if it's shaky. Sophie hasn't been out this way in a while. I'm not even sure if she wants to go. Come on, Soph. Funny thing about this dog is if anything appears out of the ordinary or anything's different, she gets a little skittish. But I'll see if I can get her to make the trip down there with me. I'm not sure exactly how visible it is, but there's a guardrail that kind of crosses Grisella Street up there that seems to have cut the street off, which would have probably extended down into where these trees are and on across to where you can see the interstate there. There's somebody's tree stand. We are in the city of Pittsburgh. I'm not sure what the rules are, or if this property is even owned by the city. It's possible if it's owned by the state, you could hunt here. I don't want to make any assumptions that anybody's doing anything wrong. That tree looks like it came down recently. But there's 3 streets in question over there. One is Grisella, which I just mentioned. The other one is Pitney, and the other one is a street called Fairbanks. And Fairbanks is probably the most well-preserved street that I can see. There is a Facebook page for all of the residents that used to live in the East Street Valley. It was only in the late 80s that the houses and neighborhoods were demolished to put in this section of interstate. And I believe right here where I'm standing would be Pitney, and Grisella, the extension, would be up there. And down here would be this well preserved. I feel like this right here would be where houses were, up on this kind of flat area. Or actually, now that I'm looking ahead here, it looks like potentially this could have been Grisella, because I'm looking directly at the unless it curved off that way. I can't imagine Grisella was that close to Fairbanks, because this is definitely Fairbanks down here. So even though I'm looking directly at Grisella there, it probably kind of curved off and was up this hill a little bit more. But this here is definitely this flat area down here. There's still asphalt. So like I said, this was the late 80s when this came through. Look at all the ivy in those trees. That's all. Yeah, it's a ton of ivy. Look at how old this one is. So the marker we're looking for is newer because it was placed in 2003.
Is that when they found?
That's when they rededicated all of the people's remains that they buried.
What made them put this cemetery?
I think because this belonged to one of the German churches that had affiliation with the original church. This one's beautiful. in memory of, so R.E.V., that'd be Reverend, right? G.J. Credle. Died in a railroad collision near Altoona, PA. Wow. And his son died with him. That's horrible.
I love that house right there.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have to find this. I know it's like a gray granite cross. Yeah, this cemetery's. Yeah. I don't know. There's not a lot of maintenance up here. It is definitely cold on top of this hill. So that's down into, that's the 31st Street Bridge. Yeah. And there's the railroad bridge. You get a really nice view up here. This is probably like almost a steep cliff here. Wow. Look at how far down Route 28 is. How many times you've driven like down on Route 28, not realizing that all this is up here, you're just flying down Route 28. Yeah. There's the Allegheny River down there. The blue is the 31st Street Bridge. I like these markers here that look like trees. 1862. Well, we're going to look around here a little bit more for the marker. And I suppose I should explain the marker we're looking for. And I have notes. And when we find it, I'll enlighten you all to a little bit more as to what it is, or what the remains represent and what happened to them. But basically, there was an old cemetery that was uncovered during the construction of Interstate Route 279 down right in the old city of Allegheny, which is basically the north side, right before you get into the city. And a lot of the people weren't identified. And right now, this is the Mount Troy section of Pittsburgh, which was a huge German community. Look at these old graves. These are beautiful. A lot of people right at the turn of the century were buried here. Look at these ones. All these trees just coming up out of here. These ones are just being completely overtaken by these wild grapevines and trees. I'm wondering if it's not down in that other wing of the cemetery. I'm gonna go grab Aaron and, oh, that's a shame. Look at these ones. Somebody should really come up here and peel these vines off. I apologize if the wind is bad on this. This is one of the oldest, maybe not the oldest. I shouldn't say the oldest. I should probably say the most poorly maintained cemetery I've been to in a while. Something is kind of serene about it though. Alright, I'm gonna cut this off and see if we can get over to the other side. It is freezing cold up here. That is an old steel or iron cross for somebody. Can't really see any. Looks like all the writing's off of it. And there's just trees growing right up out of these ones. Trees and vines. This whole cluster is full of vines. Just goes to show what happens when your family members pass away after you're gone. Stuff like this happens. Yeah. There's actually an old rock outcropping here. Almost looks like there's a ledge down there, but that's probably a cliff that goes all the way down to the road. Yeah. I think the one thing that we're both feeling is a strange sense of peace, but there's a lot of destruction with the graves. The trees are just overgrowing everything. This row, yeah. Oh, the tree, I didn't even notice that.
They all have ferns on the bottom.
Yeah. I'm sure there's some kind of symbolism with the ferns.
Oh, you know what? They might be palm leaves.
Yeah, they could be palms.
Not sure. Look how many are under this.
Yeah. So you can barely even see them. Okay, we're gonna try to get over the other side now. We're going all the way over there where those houses are. Yeah, there's a trail, or a path. Okay, look at the size of this. I have one of these next to my house. It's tiny. That has to have taken hundreds of years to grow. Those are kind of ornamental evergreen bushes. Look at Darby's Tavern. You see Darby's Tavern? That's an interesting look. Alright, so it's the Votley Evangelical. Sorry, I'm so cold I can't talk. Remember me as you pass by, as you are now. Once was I, as I am now, so you must be. Prepare for your death and follow me. And the other side has a bunch of writing. This might sum it up. I might not even need my notes. These are the exhumed remains of the members of the former Votley Evangelical Lutheran Church. The unmarked burials dating from 1823 to 1860 were exhumed May through September 1987 from the churchyard located at the corner of East Ohio Street and Aller Way in the city of Pittsburgh's North Side. The burials were reinterred by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania in October of 2002. It's funny because the article I read said 2003, but that might have been the dedication.